everyone, and welcome to another review. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance from the house of Issey Miyake. The fragrance is called l'Odyssée Intense. Now, this fragrance was released originally in 2007 and has been, since I believe it might have been reformulated, but it now comes with definitely a different flacon and bottle look than it originally was released with. Now it's kind of like a steel gray colorway to the bottle, but it's in the same shape as the original Issey Miyake bottle. I was always drawn to this fragrance just from the design alone because I really do think that the bottle looks pretty cool, but as always, what's most important is the actual juice that's inside. Now, it's available in two main sizes, a 2.5 and a 4.2. The 2.5 is going to run you $64 and the 4.2 is going to run you $85. So it's well within the respectable design price range. And with that, let's go ahead and get right into the notes for this fragrance. The notes of this fragrance consist of, at our top, we have mandarin orange, sweet orange, yuzu, and bergamot. For our mid, we have nutmeg, lotus, cinnamon, saffron, and cardamom. And for our base, we have amber, papyrus, benzoin, incense, and ambergris. So this fragrance starts off fresh for the first 5-10 minutes, and which is pretty deceiving compared to what it actually turns into. After it remains on your skin for about 5-10 minutes, it's going to become a scent that is very heavily incense-based. And the original incense scent for this time, between 2 and 4 hours, between an hour, half an hour, and 2 hours on your skin, is not the type of incense that I'm necessarily a fan of. It actually comes off like a weird musky smell on my skin, which is kind of disappointing. I expected it to be a little bit more, and I expected the intense version to actually be more of a citrusy smell rather than it turning into an incense smell. This is definitely more of the darker incense type vibe than, your average fragrance. So that's kind of disappointing to me just because, I really did like the original, the sour note, and the versatility that kind of brought to the fresh game. This is not in your fresh amounts of fragrance, or this is not in your fresh variety of fragrance. The spices, it has quite a few spices in this scent, but it never comes across as too spicy. When fragrances are too spicy for me, they tend to start making me nauseous, and this never actually does that, which is a very positive thing. You don't want to be nauseous. What this fragrance kind of reminds me of after it's been on your skin for about 3 hours is the smell of, if you've ever stepped into an old building, one of those old buildings that have, a lot of those older furnitures and stuff like that, and it's kind of got this aged wood smell. That's what this reminds me of. Now, this fragrance does not have woods in it pretty much, but that wood smell, I can't get rid of that feeling. And maybe it's coming from the incense type vibe for it, but it really does kind of smell like you stepped into an old room and the furniture still kind of has that old furniture type scent. Not dust, just kind of like old furniture. And that's the best way I can describe this scent. And as a result, to me, it's not really a universally appealing scent, which is disappointing. Again, I had high hopes for this fragrance. I go about 3 sprays. I think this is a good fragrance for the fall and the winter. But spring and summer, definitely not. And even the fall and winter might have a little bit of trouble with projection because the performance on this, it projects pretty close to your skin, especially as it develops over time. Now, as it develops over time, I will say that it kind of gains strength. It gains strength, and it's going to last about 10 hours, but it gains strength in the fact, not that people are going to be smelling it from even farther away, it just kind of gets more intense, and by that measure, it really does kind of fit its name. As time goes on, that incense, that furniture-y vibe gets more intense and more intense until it kind of explodes and fades away, basically. For the occasion, I think this is a good work and casual scent, and I'm tempted to say that it's for older gentlemen, but I think that if you're younger, you might be able to pull this off without any trouble. Compliment-wise, I did not get any compliments with this scent. This was not one that garnered people or got their chance, garnered their attention to look at it. On the flip side as well, it was not a fragrance that people were disgusted by or anything like that. So very much you might be able to wear this one and pull this one off. So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give this fragrance a rating of 6 out of 10. It gets a 6 out of 10. At the end of the day, I would classify this as a darker, going out fragrance. And I think there are many other fragrances that fit the purpose a little bit better than this one does. I think that the incense in this one, especially when it first comes on your skin, to me it's kind of weird, and it can be kind of weird on some other people's scents. So you definitely want to try this one out on your skin before you go ahead and pull the trigger on purchasing this fragrance. Now, another reason it gets a 6 out of 10, it's not really versatile, and I got to admit completely here, I've got a little bit of bias. My bias was that I expected something groundbreaking from L'Odyssée, and so far I have been severely from Issey Miyake, and so far I've been severely disappointed in L'Odyssée's flankers. Yeah, sport, intense. There's another one that I'm forgetting, but yeah, they just haven't caught my eye yet. But I think that if you like this fragrance, if you come across it and you like the smell, you're probably going to be very satisfied with this fragrance otherwise. It's got, decent projection, pretty good performance, and I don't think it's gaudy at all either. All right, so let me know what your thoughts are on this fragrance, and again, always curious what you guys think of. Thank you guys, take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.